It is okay to be skinny. I know that might sound like a weird thing to hear. Maybe it sounds unnecessary for it to hear because when we think of like weight issues, we often think, of people trying to lose weight. But actually, for a surprising share of young men, that is a revolutionary statement. But I mean, we're constantly inundated with an ideal masculine physique that's fucking shredded, big biceps, broad chest, six-pack abs. I mean, hell, I'm guilty of having this mindset. Well, we're all familiar with the body image problems typically suffered by women, leading them to feel like they're too fat or don't have big enough butt or boobs. Male body dysmorphia is largely unrecognized and understudied. But now, more than ever, doctors are raising the alarm about it, with people like Gabriela Vargas, a pediatrician at Boston Children's Hospital, telling parents they need to be looking out for certain red flags. Things like boys becoming hyperfixated on what they're eating, having highly regimented meals, cutting out food groups, and dramatically increasing their protein intake. While the data is hard to come by, one study using a 2015 survey found that nearly a third of teenage boys reported trying to gain weight, with this affecting certain groups more than others. But some of the numbers that stood out the most to me is that only around 3% of those involved were actually underweight in terms of BMI, but almost 20% perceived themselves to be. And the thing is, as we grow into men, this isn't a thing that we grow out of, with a 2014 poll finding that men worry more about their appearance than their health, family, relationships, or professional success. Right, today's men are actually more concerned about their chest than women are about their boobs. And while obviously a focus on your health can be a very, very positive thing in your life, this fixation on muscle can be destructive both physically and mentally, leading men to obsessively scrutinize over their bodies, inspect themselves in the mirror, or on the flip side, just hide their bodies under baggy clothes. That's in addition to the health risks that come from working out too much or inhaling dietary supplements. Right, excessive exercise and a skewed nutrient intake can be as dangerous as the drastic weight loss from eating disorders like anorexia. And ironically, if it gets to the point where the body's in starvation mode, hormone production can slow down, including testosterone, the one that is critical for building muscle. And that's especially true for younger boys who haven't developed the right hormonal environment for strength training yet, with one Harvard professor explaining there isn't a lot of potential to gain muscle mass for the average 10 to 14-year-old boy who lifts weights and drinks protein shakes. Yet, a key thing to take away here, that's precisely the age when they're feeling intense social pressure from peers and, in today's age, starting to access social media. Whether it's TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, whatever, research shows that more screen time correlates with more muscle dysmorphia, and other data linking Instagram use by teen boys to disordered eating behavior, muscle dissatisfaction, and even use of steroids. But also understand, male beauty standards have been hammered into kids long before they got their first iPad, right? It's in everything we consume. I mean, there was a 2006 study showing that fucking action figures became more muscular over the prior 25 years, with more recent research showing that boys prefer those hyper-masculinized toys over the older, skinnier ones. And then, I mean, just think about the American culture that we grew up with. My heroes growing up, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone, are the most fucking yoked out people in the world. And that hasn't changed. I mean, you have the Chris's, right? Chris Hemsworth, Chris Evans, Chris Pratt. I mean, that dude went from, I'll have a large number 6 to SEAL Team 6. And I mean, you can even see it in the different actors playing some of the same revised roles. Look at James Bond over the years, Sean Connery to Daniel Craig. And with America being such a giving country, we also export this toxicity. Studies showing that even in populations exposed to Western media relatively recently, TV consumption is linked to more muscular body ideals for men and slimmer ones for women. And that's along with dieting behaviors and disordered eating among women. But also, you can't put 100% of the blame on media because the supplements industry is the prime beneficiary here. Right? They've been aggressively marketing protein shakes, bars, pills, and powders towards men for decades. And it's worked because now the global protein supplements market is valued at over $20 billion, with North America grabbing the largest share. And reportedly, more than half of males from adolescence to early adulthood take protein powder or shakes. And this is Americans already consume nearly twice the recommended daily intake of protein. And that matters because excessive protein consumption can strain kidney and liver function, as well as increase the risk of heart disease and cancer. Not to mention the specific risks with protein supplements, which go largely unregulated by the FDA. And whatever's on the label can say fuck all about what's actually in the bottle. Plus, many powders are packed with added sugars, and researchers have also found unsafe amounts of heavy metals like lead, arsenic, cadmium, and mercury. But yeah, all of that is to say that everyone is the victim of just the insanity that's going on right now, both men and women. While research suggests that women are still judged far more for their appearance than men, the fact that it's not happening with the same numbers or the same rate doesn't change the fact that it is affecting both. And stuff like this needs to be talked about so that it's understood and normalized rather than kind of mocked, or sometimes even worse, just dismissed. With all of that, I want to leave you with two things. One, what are your thoughts regarding this news, and also your personal experiences would be so amazing to know in those comments down below. And two, make sure you're subscribed and come back to the channel later today for your brand new full Philip DeFranco show.